We're Ellie and Luke. 3 years ago, we bought an abandoned homestead in North Idaho with the simple goal of transforming it into a self-sufficient getaway. After 2 years of preparing the land, we're finally ready to start our biggest project yet, our off-grid tiny home. Follow along as we experience the trials and tribulations of building completely off the grid and by ourselves. The North Idaho Nomads are finally settling down, and we can't wait to share this adventure with you. Today's episode brought to you by Discount Lots.
Alright, we're back. I think I'm adjusting my goals a little bit. Before I wanted to get the roof done to include ice and rain guard and metal. But I think this might be our last week of decent weather and it's going to be a busy week, so I think I've only got maybe 2 days down here. So I will be happy if we can get all the OSB up and get a tarp over it. Love to get further, but that's my new goal for now. If we get further, great. If not, I'll still be okay with it because it'll be covered for the winter. Tarp should keep it dry. I'll double it up for a little extra layer of protection, but I'll be happy with that. So today I'm going to try to knock out as much of this as possible. You can see I've got one row. Well, maybe the sun's in the way. We're one row up. Got about 1, 2, 3, and some change left to do. So that's the plan. I'm gonna get after it. I'm already kind of getting a late start, so.
So, I'm tired of putting music over the montage of Luke working, so I'm just gonna talk instead for this video. But the problem is I don't really quite know what to talk about, and I also am not really 100% sure what my husband is doing in the video that's not already very obvious what he's doing. So instead, I'm just gonna ramble a little bit, trying something new with this video, and I hope that you enjoy. So obviously, I am not here during the filming of this. I was at my regular work desk job, and it's probably a good thing that I wasn't here for this because seeing Luke up on the roof with no safety gear, no harness, it's kind of terrifying. The back end of the tiny home is probably about 11, 12 feet off the ground, which isn't too high, but it's high enough that if he were to fall, something bad would have happened. So probably for the best that I actually wasn't here for all of this, or else I just would have been a nervous wreck the whole time. And, you know, Luke is very capable, very smart, actually really watches himself up there. Luke is very good on his feet. I know he's paying attention to where he's stepping. Still a little nerve-wracking, though. I feel like it kind of comes down to there's things Luke's really good at, and there's things I'm also really good at. And in this case, Luke is really good at building. He's really good at figuring things out. I think where my skills come in are a little more on the creative side. So I'm really good at filming, and I'm really good at editing and piecing clips together to tell a story. So we make a pretty good team. I know I'm not always the most physically helpful when we're working on projects, but you know what? I'm really good at handing him things and cleaning up the job site. And I think it takes two, especially trying to create content how we do and trying to tell a story So I think both of our skills complement each other in that way. I think the combination of our skills has helped our YouTube channel grow how it has. I still think it's kind of wild that people even want to watch our videos, considering, you know, we're not the stereotypical couple that you see on YouTube in this space where we've sold all our, worldly belongings and we've put all our eggs in one basket and we've moved out to this remote location. No, we're quite frankly kind of boring compared to those couples. We still work full time and we're just out here, on our days off or sometimes taking time off of our jobs to come work. But I truly think it's the fact that, we tell a story and we try to tell a compelling story through our videos, which goes back to Luke's skills and my video editing skills. And so I just think that's part of the reason I think we've seen the success we have seen on our YouTube channel. Sometimes it feels like we have to work twice as hard on the YouTube side of things. And what I mean by that is we can only film, 1, maybe 2 days a week. So it takes us longer to create content and to edit that content to put out a video. So we really struggle to put out a video a week. And in our current culture, viewers want to see things quickly. They want to see things resolved. So they really want to see projects start and finish in the same video. And quite frankly, that's just not really possible for us. We've talked about this before. It has hurt us in terms of our videos being, promoted or suggested on the algorithm. We've struggled with, comments and people saying like, oh, you work really slow. This is so boring. And that's reality. So yeah, when I say we have to work harder sometimes, that's what I mean. We have to really think about how we're filming and how we can edit it into maybe just 1 or 2 videos to show more progress. But the problem when we start to think like that is it takes away, I think, from the authenticity, which is what we've always strived for on this channel. When we get to the point where we're really starting to script what you see on this channel, we've really gotten away from, I think, what YouTube was designed for, which is, normal people sharing their everyday experiences. So it's kind of something we've struggled with. But one thing we've always done on this channel, and I am really proud of both Luke and I, is really what you see is what you get with us. It's not always glamorous. It's not always pretty. Heck, it's not always even interesting, but this is what we experience, and we will always do our best to showcase that to you.
All right, got enough OSB to finish off this row, and I'll have to come back tomorrow. I think 2 more sheets for the last row. Ooh. I think it's almost gonna be perfect on this last row. Of course not. Why would it be? Oh! That was a close one.
Like I said, we're not as interesting or as all in as I think some other channels are. And there's nothing wrong with that. I wish we were like that. I think Luke and I both wish we were like that, but we're just not financially there. Also both our jobs have really good benefits. And there's definitely something to be said for that, to be said for, having good health care. just in case Luke, ever falls off the roof he's working on, which I hope he never does. But just stuff like that keeps us working the 9 to 5s, and then doing this YouTube stuff on the side. But like I said, I wish we could do that. We're just not quite there yet. And who knows? I don't know. Maybe we'll never be there. Maybe this will always just be a side project, a creative side thing that we do. But who knows? We'll see. It would be awesome if we could get to the point where we could do this full time and create videos full time. But who knows? We'll see. Anything's possible, I guess.
As you can see, Daddy got a little wild with the nail gun. It was acting up, so I just got angry and started shooting more nails. Well, woo! Nice try, GoPro. So that top row is catching my tarp, so I'm gonna come through with a hammer, knock those down a bit. Alright, I've had a long couple days. I got a good chunk done today, 2 full rows, 1 to go. I clean up, get out of here, hit it again tomorrow. I'll have the sheathing done tomorrow. At least then I can get a tarp on it. Worst case scenario, it goes the winter with just a tarp. But if I can get this last row, I don't know, we might find one more good week before the weather turns to shit. And maybe I can get the ice guard down and, I don't know, start the metal, we'll see. Happy with just a tarp for now. I can get up here, I can walk around, it makes things much easier. It's a hell of a lot easier throwing a tarp on this when I can walk up here rather than trying to shimmy around with a ladder. Now I can just bring a tarp up, throw it on, and call it a day. So, making progress. Alright, I'll go pick up my tools and skedaddle. There she is. There's the view. Howdy katowdy.
Well, I'm happy to report that my husband did not fall off the roof and made it home safely after a day spent working on it. I think that's going to do it for this one, but let us know in the comments if this way of doing videos was interesting with the voiceover, or if you would like us to go back to just putting music over them. I'd like to hear your thoughts. As always, thank you so much for all your support. I know I spent a lot of this video kind of complaining a little bit, but I know we do have true fans out there that enjoy tuning in to watch us, and we both really appreciate the fact that you choose to spend your precious time watching some of our videos. So I really appreciate it, and thank you for the support. And so I think we'll see you in the next one.